Hello, Queen Ganusa here. Today we're just going to talk about different things, but mainly we're going to talk about the fact that most people want it all. And I will tell you that you can have it all, but you can only have it all when you have made the sacrifices and when you have put in the work to actually be able to achieve it all. So what does that mean? What do I mean by that? I just simply mean that in order for you to have it all, there's a price that you have to pay to have it all. Now, I would tell people all the time that you can have it all after you put in the work, after you pay the price that it takes for you to actually be able to have it all. What do I mean by that? I simply mean that in order for you to have it all, you have got to make the sacrifice. You have got to put in the time. It is going to cost you something to have it all. Now, when I started out my career, and as I was being trained and equipped by others, it was very important that I used my time and I used it wisely. It was very important that I learned how to manage my time. But I will tell you that it cost me to be successful. What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about finances. When I say that it cost me to be successful, I mean that it cost me time. And time is the one thing that once you have used it, that you cannot get it back. So, time's that thing that is irreplaceable. But I want to go a step further and make sure that you understand that you definitely can have it all, but it's going to cost you something to have it all. So what do I mean by that? I was a single parent. But I wanted it all. I wanted to be a good mother. I ended up getting married and I ended up getting a divorce. A matter of fact, I ended up getting 2 divorces for the simple fact that I wanted it all. And in order to have it all, it required sacrifices. It required determination, consistency. It required some things on my part that in the beginning that I wasn't able to juggle it just the way that I needed to be able to juggle it. So I want you to understand that having it all will cost you. You can have it all because now I have it all. But it was a long road of success before I could actually have it all. And to have it all, you have to realize that you are the key to have it all. Because everything that you need is already on the inside of you, that you have been equipped for such a time as this to be able to have it all. But the trick to all of this is knowing how to manage it all, knowing what to do with it all, and knowing how to achieve it all, and know that you have to put in the work, that you have to make some sacrifices. Now, when I talk about sacrifices, I'm talking about some things that you have to give up. Because I was on the road of success, because I wanted it all, because I was willing to put in the work and do the time and be consistent and be determined and continue to, even though I would get knocked down, continue to get back up and continue to move forward, it cost me something. I didn't get to spend as much time with family as I otherwise would have got to spend time. When other people was doing family things, I did family things with my son because I was a single parent most of the time. But those times and outings that I spent with my son was juggled, and in between this and in between that. Now, I made sure that my son did not want for anything, and I made sure that my son did not feel neglected in any way. But if you were trying to have a relationship with me, and if you were someone other than my son, then you would not have been happy because you would have felt like that I did not care, that I wasn't able to give you what you needed. But for me, it was, I'll win. For me, it was, I will succeed no matter what the cost. And so, but I paid a penalty for my success. I paid a penalty to where one day that I could actually have it all. Now, I have family, I have friends, I have a personal life, I have a business life. I mean, now I truly have it all. But when I was trying to achieve my goals, when I was trying to be an entrepreneur, when I was trying to get to where I am now, I had to make some sacrifices along the way. When I look back now, I do not regret the sacrifices that I made because I was blessed that along the way, even though I made sacrifices, I was still able to get some quality time with family every now and then. Was I at every family gathering and outing? No, I was not. Was I able to take vacations? Was I able to be at family outings? Was I able to have downtime? Was I able to have hobbies? Did I go on vacation? I mean, the list goes on and on. I did not do any of those things because I had not achieved my goal yet. And so for me, it was all about the grind. For me, it was all about making it. It was all about realizing that I was the key to my own success. And since I had the key, that I had to use the key to the best of my ability to achieve the destiny, the purpose, the greatness that I was striving for. And so I don't want you to be in the wrong mindset to think that you're going to have it all, but it's not going to cost you. I mean, I just named a few things that it cost me on my journey to having it all, but I want you to know that it does cost. You know, you have to make sacrifices. You have to be dedicated. You have to make sacrifices with your time. You have to make sacrifices with your finances. You end up making a sacrifice in every area of your life. And if you're not willing to do that, it's going to be impossible for you to have it all. Because to do great things, you have to make a sacrifice until you're able to walk in that greatness. So once you realize that it requires you to make a sacrifice, then you can decide whether that's a price that you want to pay or not. Now, I talk to people all the time, and they tell me the price for success is just too high. They tell me if I cannot have quality time with my family, if I cannot have this, if I cannot have that, then success is not worth it to me. Now, I tell everybody it's not a permanent situation. It's what you have to do on your road to success until you are successful. Now I know how to balance it all. I know how to juggle it all, because now I understand that we need to be well-rounded. We need to be balanced. And so now I understand that on my road to having it all and achieving my goals, my purpose, and walking in my greatness, I realized that if I would have been a little more balanced, that I probably would have achieved my goals a lot sooner. But because I wasn't balanced, and because I wasn't focused, because I was not, I was focused, but I was focused and I was driven. And because I was focused and driven, I kind of left out the personal side. I kind of left out the other part of me that also need to be nurtured at the same time. So I said all of that because it took me 2 divorces to realize that my life wasn't balanced out. It took me 2 divorces to realize that I probably was not the best wife that I could have been. Not that I'm not a good wife, because I'm actually an excellent wife. But at the time, because I wasn't balanced, I was focused on my goal, my drive, my mission, and I was determined to make it. I probably missed some things in my marriage. I probably missed the fact that they were feeling like that they were unimportant to me. I probably missed the fact that they felt like that I was all work and no play. I probably missed the fact that they felt like, okay, you're always on the grind. You're always climbing the ladder. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. And it just does not allow a lot of time for me. And so those are things that you can miss when you are so focused. Now, I have a very happy marriage. I'm very happily married. I have a son, grandchildren. I'm very much a part of their life. I go on vacation. I'm actually living my best life now. And when the Bible says your ladder shall be greater, I can actually attest to that my ladder is actually greater. But what I want you to know is that it causes you to be great. The greatness is on the inside of you. But for you to take the greatness from the inside of you and to walk in your greatness, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult from time because you're going to want to quit. You're going to want to give up. You're going to feel like throwing in the towel. But you have to know that the greatness that is inside of you was not just put there for you, but it was put there for the whole entire world. And so you also have to realize that you can have it all. Even though it looks like right now that you can't have it all, you need to know that you absolutely can have it all, but you can have it all after you make it. I don't want you to think that it's possible for you not to put in the work, for you not to be determined, for you to have to do it, for you to be pulled in so many different directions that you're not really good at anything. For me to make it, I want you to know that I was determined. I was focused. I was on the grind. I was a beast. Nothing was going to stop me from walking in my greatness. Nothing, nobody, or anything was going to stop me from walking in my greatness. The only thing that I took into consideration, because I was a single parent, I always put my son up there with that. So my son was always valuable to me, and I was always concerned about his well-being and that he was feeling loved and that he was getting the things that he needed from me. But outside of my son and me being on the grind and me being focused and me being determined, everything else fell short. So I want you to understand that I did make it, but I made it at the price and at the sacrifice and some other things along the way. I didn't have friends that I hung out with. I didn't have fancy dinners. I didn't, there's so many things that I can name off. But to be honest with you, I didn't even have the desire to do those things because I was so focused and determined that I would reach my purpose, that I'd walk in my destiny, I'd walk in my purpose, and I'd walk out my greatness at all costs. So I want you to understand that you can have it all, but you're going to have it all at a price. Along the road, you're going to have to give up something. I don't want you to be discouraged when you have to make sacrifices and you have to give up something, because I'll tell you this, in the end, it's worth every sacrifice because you make it in the end and you do get to have it all. This has been just us just talking about what it takes to make it to the top. And you know what? I believe that you have what it takes to make it to the top. Remember to live your life on purpose. Live it intentionally. Be the best life that you can be now. You only have one, so be one life. Until the next time, take care of you.